The Pull Out All the Stops campaign is an appeal to raise money to help reinstall the remaining parts of the Royal Festival Hall organ. When the organ was built, it was constructed by Harrison & Harrison Limited of Durham, and they were very carefully selected at the time because they represented a very high quality kind of musical finish for the instrument. And Rafe Downes, the designer of the organ, was very impressed with the work that he'd seen elsewhere. When the hall was refurbished in 2005, we had the organ taken out, and of course as part of that we had to tender for works to refurbish the instrument. And we were delighted to be able to appoint Harrison & Harrison, the original builders of the instrument, to do that restoration work. There are people who are still working at Harrison's today who had a relationship with the instrument when it was first built in the 1950s, and there are some family relationships and neat links which really link the past with the present. In the first couple of weeks of August of this year, the pipes arrived in another great load through the production arch, and they were all brought up in the production lift onto the stage and finally carefully handled in a sort of human chain from the stage area and put into the instrument. So what you see behind me are a series of soundboards on which the pipes sit, and each of the ranks of pipes has been very carefully restored, and part of the process that we're about to undertake is the rebalancing of the pipework.
All the pipes are individuals, so if you have a trumpet in an orchestra, you have one instrument that covers a certain range, but that's one kind of pipe really, isn't it? But if we have a trumpet in an organ, we've got 61 keys here, so we've got to have 61 pipes. And the art in voicing is get those to sound like a trumpet, or like one instrument, not like 61. With this unique kind of voicing, I'm very pleased to hand over those skills to my colleagues Andrew and Duncan.
Our role together is to go through each pipe within the organ, re-establishing its musical balance within the hall.
We have a small console, a small keyboard here, which is linked into the organ, so we listen from out here and direct the person who's inside the organ to do the work that's required to the pipes.
This organ here is quite special to our firm. It was quite a departure from the usual norm of Harrison & Harrison, and it took a lot of head scratching to quite get to grips with what Mr. Downes was after. And it took a lot of research, even going abroad to Holland and to France, to pick up the ideas and get the flavour that was required for this kind of musical instrument.
For me, it's the near realisation of a dream, because when I first came and the hall was being refurbished, there was this huge cavernous space where the organ might be. And it was unthinkable that it wouldn't be there, but we didn't have at that point a campaign going to make it there. And now look, you know, it's nearly here. And that's really because of the incredible generosity of people who love the organ as much as we do.
There's still a great empty space in the organ chamber, and once we've finished this central section, we'll be turning our attention to the completion of the design work and the construction of that final section of the organ. In the summer of 2013, we'll have to build both the framework and put the pipes in all in one sequence. Once that is done, the voicing team will arrive and they will start the finishing work and the rebalancing of those final sections of the organ. So when we reach the end of 2013, we will have really reached an incredible point in our history, the history of the hall, because the auditorium will be back in full working order with all of the right bits of components in, able to meet the musical demands of the programme.
We're going to have a festival to celebrate its return, and that will allow us to cover an enormous range of repertoire.
We'll be able to perform some of the most famed works in the repertoire as well once it's reinstalled, which we can't do properly at the moment.
This is like everybody's place. The South Bank Centre belongs to everybody, and so this is the people's organ.
Right where we are now definitely feels like an important milestone, having got the structure of the instrument in, put the pipework into place, it really feels as if we're making huge progress in this project. We've got £600,000 to raise, and my appeal to you is to help us to complete that target. The main way in which people can help contribute to this fundraising appeal is by going online and sponsoring a pipe, and you can do that in a whole variety of ways. You could sponsor a pipe for a relative or a friend or in memory of somebody, or you can sponsor pipes from £30 for the smallest of pipes in the instrument, and they're just about the size of a pencil, to the largest pipes, which are absolutely colossal, the big 32-foot pipes, and they are £10,000 per pipe. But of course, if you'd like to give a single donation just towards our process of raising the money, then of course we'd be delighted to receive that as well.